Hey guys, Tbull here. Today we're going to be starting off our celebration this weekend for 4th of July. I got games in the Worcester today, and then we got coming up probably on Sunday and Monday we'll do the Alaska and the new legendary American heavy cruiser, Des Moines. So stay tuned for those. But I hope you guys are having a good 4th of July weekend if you're in America and celebrating. All right, so the Worcester, what is this? American light cruiser. Now, conceptually, what we want to do with these light cruisers is kind of burrow in like a nasty parasite or something. So we're going to get it as close as we can to the enemy, and then, assuming they don't dislodge us, we're just going to basically make certain parts of the map unlivable. Okay, so these American light cruisers are kind of defensive. You want to get them in as close as you can safely. And then you just prevent everything from moving forward. It's very frustrating to play against a well-played American light cruiser and devastating as well. So we're playing on this island here. Capture the base mode, of course. So we're going to go ahead and take the central position. And towards the end of this match, the enemy will demonstrate how to counter these cruisers. But basically, the moral of the story is you got to push into them. All right, if you leave them unmolested, they'll do plenty of molesting on their own. So go ahead and bother them. Go ahead and shoot them. Number one, it's a radar cruiser, so if you got a shot at the Worcester, you got to take it. But if you leave it and it just unleashes its shots on you the whole game, you will die sooner or later. So moving in here, this island's pretty decent. It's kind of a 90-degree corner right here, so if one side gets hot, we can kind of maneuver around the other side and kind of dislodge here. And we're noting that we're getting spotted here, and that means the destroyer's in the area because the other ship that's spotted over here, the Worcester, we're going to go ahead and take some shots on him. Gotta note that we're getting spotted though, so the destroyer, it's not for sure on this side of the map, the eastern side of the map, but that's the early indication. So we got beached on the island a minute ago. You can kind of stop a little bit quicker just by hitting the island rather than trying to slow down to a crawl. And we'll just keep bouncing off this thing and trying to defend ourselves and deal damage to the enemy Worcester. So it's a game of attrition at this point in time. Who's getting whittled down faster? We're not taking much damage at all, a couple thousand. He's already half health. So that's an issue for him. If he wants to flee off into the nether regions of the map, then we're being successful in our endeavors. Just take a look at the map right there. Anything in our circle is potentially in major trouble. Okay, and that's the map control that we exert. And the enemy, you'll see, as the game goes on, they're not going to be really wanting to stay within that. So if we can drive that Worcester out of the zone of control, that's a good first step here. Iowa, we're going to go ahead and start him on fire and see if we can get some damage on him. Just kind of challenge it in his mind because he's moving in towards the center of the map. We want to put some doubt into him and causes that move to be painful. Okay, if you want to get in the middle, you're going to have to trade some HP to do so. Worcester now outside of our firing range, and we're not getting spotted. So we're noting that we are going to reposition on this side of the island here and see if we can head this Iowa off. If he gets centrally located, he can whap a lot of those ships. You can see they're kind of clustered down in the southwest corner. For some reason, there's a fascination with being over there for our team, despite not a lot of red ships being over there, but that's all right. We were going to try and keep these guys alive if possible. We do have a Yamato here, and once again, we're just going to be trading shots with these guys, or trading off targets, rather. Who can we get? We want to hit all these guys, annoy them. If we can get them on fire, that's ideal. Just get some more damage going on in the background and cause all these battleships to say to themselves, light cruiser, I hate those guys. They're the HE spammers, and we got to stay away from that dude. So there we go. The Turpets set him on fire, cycle their damage con if they want to use the damage con. Otherwise, we'll get some nice passive damage in the background. You can see he did go ahead and use the damage control there. So, continue to get some shots off here. Iowa, let's see if we can hit him. Turpets, okay, we got a nice shot here. And you can see kind of how we're utilizing these islands when we're playing these light cruisers. We're going to be like right next to the islands. Typically, the shots go more or less straight up into the air, and you can be quite close to these islands, keeping yourself safe. Kleber pops up here. I don't know if he's getting radared or exactly if he's shot, but for some reason is spotted. and the team is going to respond in kind. I'm going to go ahead and back up, protecting myself from the ships that we were harassing earlier. Don't want them to have free shots at me when I'm unable to pay attention. Once again, we'll hit the island. That'll allow us to take off forward very quickly if we need to, if we sense torps coming here. Do have the sonar going to make sure we're protected. And the Clubber, he's all in. He's a suicide striker, and he definitely wants this Richelieu dead for some reason. So he's willing to trade half the destroyer fleet on the enemy team for a chance to miss some torps on a battleship close range, and we'll happily remove him from the game, no problem. So kind of a bad busted play there by that destroyer, but live and learn, hopefully. And we're just going to go back to what we were doing. Now, at this point, I'm looking on the map, and everybody's kind of moved out of our firing range. So I'm thinking, okay, we want to kind of ratchet up the pressure. So which island can I get to? You know, if we don't have anything to shoot at, we're too far back, obviously. We want to move in and exert control over even more of the map, and particularly the enemy's side of the map, the red team's side of the map. So moving in here, we got some shots right now. We could park here and take them. I just want to swing over to the right here in a moment, though. Reposition once again, gain more map control, and make sure that we're being safe in the process. So Bismarck, Yamato, and Tirpitz. And then they will have another cruiser. You can see in the corner, if you look at the map there, he's been unsighted for a little bit. He's going to be cruising around as well. So now this is kind of this. They will demonstrate eventually here how we deal with these guys. All right, I'm going to begin to shoot in on them. I'm going to try and move forward here, put this island in between us and them so I can do this freely without taking any damage. Once we drop spot, they won't be able to return fire, and then we just flame cannon that will gradually burn these guys to the ground. Okay, see on the map there, keep an eye at that cruiser is spotted, and that's causing me a little bit of worry at this point in time, because if he does pop forward a little bit, he'll have a good line of sight on us, and then Yamato, Bismarck, and the Tirpitz will potentially all have shots at me. So that's kind of the danger that we're in here. You know, these guys, number one, if you're hosing them down like this with golden showers for a long time, they're going to remember you. They're going to start to get pretty ticked off at you, and anytime you do pop up, they're going to be ready to shoot. So I'm getting a little bit nervous now. I don't have a great way to disengage. Keeping an eye on that cruiser. Luckily, he backed up a little bit, so we're not in danger at the moment. But the Tirpitz is moving forward. Now, the Tirpitz, that's kind of the German battleships with torpedoes. Their main goal as the map goes on, they want to get in, all right? And they're very hard to prevent that. I don't have torpedoes on these light cruisers, so if he closes in on me, he's got the torps, he's got the armor, and he's got the firepower to basically wreck the ship very quickly. So trying to keep these guys uninterested in moving forward. Luckily, the cruiser continues to not spot us. But as the Yamato heads the opposite direction from those guys, that's going to increase the odds of them having a crossfire, right? Eventually, if this Yamato keeps moving forward, he would spot me. And then if the battleship directly to the north of us, the Tirpitz, if he continues to move forward, he'll spot me as well. So there's kind of a pincer action going on here. And that's a good play for them to be making. We do need to be countering these light cruisers because, you know, as you can see, we're piling on the damage, and the game's just past half over for us. We are getting spotted by the Tirpitz, though, and this is a bit of an issue. We go ahead and pop the sonar just to get a radar. I don't know why I was doing that exactly, but yep, we gone there. The Yamato strikes us and takes us out. So good play by those guys, and that's what you want to be doing. All right. Now you can see the Shima nuke the Yamato, who's going back to defend the base, and now these guys do not have the opportunity to go back and reset the base. So this game will be over pretty quickly, and a capping win will wind up at the top score, but overall it's pretty good look at what you want to be doing with these light cruisers. Just think of themselves as like a nasty thing that if the enemy is paying attention and they're playing well, they'll figure out a way to get rid of you. If not, then you'll just gradually lean on their team and wear them down throughout the match, and you can put up huge damage numbers. But you got to make sure you're in position to be shooting at something pretty much on reload. You know, there's not a lot of downtime if you're in the right spot, if you're close enough to the enemy, and hopefully you're getting good spotting from your team. Then we can just lay on the trigger the whole game and pile up the damage, and more importantly, prevent them from moving forward and accomplishing whatever the goals they're trying to do. So that's a look at the Worcester for you guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, consider subscribing. Lots of World of Warships coming for you all the time. Questions, comments, leave below. Love to hear from you guys, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.